It's Sunday and I'm back. It's my second Sunday. It's my second Sunday. So yeah, I'm back. So I guess what I'm doing on Sundays now is just doing my accountability check-in for the week, my personal accountability check-in, and you guys can join in and kind of just check in. Hey lady, how are you? Good morning, happy Sunday. We are checking in for the week. We are talking about, hey Sharon, we are talking about how the week has gone with our weight loss goals. So my babies are gone for the weekend. Both of them are with their dad, and I am happy. Good morning. I am happy because I've had the chance to just kind of relax. And guess what I did? Instead of doing something relaxing, actually I've been studying. I'm studying for the certification that I'm taking on Monday. And that's how I spent my week. Studying instead of relaxing, but it is what it is. It will pay off in the end. So Sharon, Dre, how have you guys gone? How has your week been? So my goal this week was to go to the gym 3 times. You guys know I joined I joined Fitness Connection. I went twice this week. No, I went 1 time this week. And I walked 1 time because it felt so good outside. And today I'm going to go again before my babies get back and before I jump on to the live with my friend from California. So listen, you guys are going to have to join me at 3 o'clock today, Eastern time. I'm going to be on with this therapist from California. She has this show that she does on YouTube, and we're going to be talking about a healer's journey to healing. And so I'm going to talk about my journey, and how I've kind of found a level of healing and how I use that in my practice with other people. So check me out on Well Play TV on YouTube at 3 o'clock today. Oh, okay. So Sharon says that it's been busy, but so good. I started working out again this week as well. Walked through the neighborhood and it was so nice. It was a beautiful week to work out. It was a beautiful week. It was rainy some of the days, but the days that it was not raining, it was beautiful. I got out there and I really enjoyed it. So I'm going to enjoy a workout today, probably when I hop off this live. So yeah, I wanted to talk today about, hey girl, how are you? Good morning, happy Sunday. So I wanted to talk about weight loss approaches. So I got my little cheat sheet here, but weight loss approaches. So y'all know I have tried a little bit of everything to lose weight. I have tried it all. And what I have found out is that it all boils down to calories in, calories out, right? And so we that are on our weight loss journey, we kind of try to find ways to induce a calorie deficit. And that calorie deficit can be from a lot of different ways. Now, what I find a lot of people do is that they go really, really hard at the gym with cardio. And I get it. Sometimes you enjoy cardio and sometimes you're like me, that you're not really a cardio person unless you just like doing it. Like I like to run, I like to dance, I like to run, dance, I like to swim. That's my cardio. I do it because I enjoy it, but I don't do it to lose weight. So cardio is great for your heart, but you don't have to do cardio to lose weight. You do it because you want to have a healthy heart, yeah, but you also do it to induce a calorie deficit, but you don't have to have your calorie deficit just from cardio. So what I find is that people go really, really hard at the gym, and then when they've gotten closer to their goal, they're going so hard that they have no wiggle room with the cardio. And so they got to like drastically cut their calories in order to have that same calorie deficit. So what I always say to people is that go very, very mild to moderate with your cardio in the beginning, so that as you get closer to your goal and you start hitting these plateaus, that you have some wiggle room. And you can say, okay, I've been doing, 30 minutes of cardio and I've gotten this far in my goals. I can now do, 40 minutes of cardio or 60 minutes of cardio, right? And you still don't have to tweak your diet as much because you're doing it with cardio. Or you can approach it with you can approach it with your nutrition. And you can say, okay, I'm gonna drop my calories, but you don't want to drop your calories too much because you want to enjoy your life, right? So you don't want to drop your calories too much. And so you got to really find a really good balance for yourself where you're actually losing weight, but it's kind of like you plan your weight loss. You got to plan your weight loss. So you got to know, okay, so I'm going to start out doing this, and then in 6 months I'm going to be closer to my goal. So then I'll drop my calories some more, or I'll tweak my up my cardio, so I'm losing more calories with cardio, and then that will balance it out. Every time you hit a goal or every time you hit a plateau, you tweak something with either your diet or you tweak something with your exercise. Okay, so here's an approach that some people take. So some people take the approach of weight loss surgery. Oh, Sharon said, yes, happened to me in 2014. Could not break the plateau because I had nowhere to go. Exactly. Was already at 1,200 calories daily and working out. Exactly. So that's why I tell people use cardio very mindfully, because you don't want to just ball out with cardio. And then when you hit that plateau, because you're going as hard as you can go. And your body's already used to going as hard as you can go, and you have no wiggle room. So you want to go very moderate with your cardio, so that when you start hitting those plateaus later on down the road, you can start going harder with your cardio and still eat what you're eating. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Okay. All right. So I made this post, and I'm going to talk about this post, and I dropped the mic on this post. So weight loss surgery, right? So everybody talks about, a lot of people talk down about weight loss surgery. And I'm going to tell you what I think. So I made this post this week, and I said that I think that it pisses off those who did not have surgery but derive their personal value from their fitness performance. And why did I say that? I said that because weight loss surgery is the equalizer. So I'm going to tell you why that is my opinion. Now, I am entitled to my opinion, okay? I'm entitled to my opinion. All right. So let me tell you the background of my opinion. So I lost weight without weight loss surgery. I have a history of losing a large amount of weight and doing really well by eating and by exercising. And so there was this point in my life where I was like, looking down on people that had weight loss surgery. I was looking down on people that had weight loss surgery. I was looking down on people that had plastic surgery. I was just looking down on people, period, because I was prideful. Because I was like, well, if I can do it, they should be able to do it. I'm going hard in the paint. They should be able to do it. And I got a sense of pride out of the fact that I could do something that someone else could not do by just changing my diet and by exercising. So that kind of puffed me up in my mind, because I thought that I had the one up on somebody because they couldn't do it like I could do it, right? And so I looked down because they couldn't do it. I looked down on that person. So in that sense, because I felt like I had the one up on somebody, I derived my personal value. I derived a personal value set from my ability to lose weight and keep it off by exercising and by what I was eating. And I thought that people that couldn't do that were less than, or they didn't go as hard. There was something wrong with them. So if that is the truth, if that is my truth, if I get value out of the fact that I didn't choose surgery, then it will piss me off if somebody could have surgery and have the same goals and meet the same goals that I met. So I'm like, okay, so this person is having surgery. They're accomplishing the same thing I'm accomplishing. And now I'm hot because in my mind at least, they're not going as hard as I'm going. It's easier because they're doing something that is helping them, whereas I had to rely on my efforts and all the stuff that I kind of derive pride from. So that's why I say it pisses people off when you do surgery and you get the same results that they got, because they get pride out of the fact that they didn't have to have surgery to get it. Does that make sense? Y'all talk to me. Does that make sense? Because that is what my personal take of it is, because that's what I experienced, because I looked down on people that had surgery until I had it. And why did I choose surgery? So I chose surgery because I did not want to lose the weight on my own. I was tired. I got frustrated. I was tired. And surgery, you know how we talked earlier today about surgery is literally an approach. It is just an approach to weight loss. It is just a tool that you use. So let's see. Sharon said that what people don't understand is that it is not. So, okay. So there are so many misconceptions about weight loss. Hey, weight loss surgery coach. And weight loss surgery coach can kind of attest to this. There are so many misconceptions about weight loss surgery, even that I had. So when I chose weight loss surgery, I thought that weight loss surgery was going to make me not be able to eat. Hey, that weight loss surgery meant that I would never be able to eat what I wanted to eat. I thought that weight loss surgery meant that I would never have to eat sweets again, because I wanted to be able to, this is going to sound gross, y'all. But okay, so let's talk about how weight loss surgery works, and then I'll tell you why I chose it. So weight loss surgery works by restricting the amount of calories that you can eat in a given time, right? And it also works by creating a mechanism where you don't absorb all of the calories that you are eating. So there are different types of weight loss surgery. So the one surgery is you have the gastric sleeve. So with the gastric sleeve, all that is that it's reducing the amount of calories the amount of food that you can eat at any given time. So that is one approach to weight loss surgery. Another approach to weight loss surgery is the bypass, which is what I had. So with bypass, you get the smaller stomach and they reroute your intestines so that you're not absorbing all of your calories. So people like that one because even if you eat a lot of food, you're not getting all of the calories. So I chose the bypass because I did not want to, I wanted to be able to have a mechanism that if I slipped, that I would still be okay. And not only that, I felt like if I had bypass, there's this thing called dumping syndrome where you actually throw up if you eat too much fat at one time or eat too much sugar at one time. And I felt like I needed that. And so I said, okay, well, I'm going to do the bypass because I'll have this dumping syndrome and that will kind of be like a negative consequence to eating the wrong thing and that will keep me on my goal. But guess what? That did not happen for me. It did not happen. And I thought that I would have dumping syndrome and that would be it. That will keep me on track for the rest of my life. So number one, the misconception is that dumping does not happen for everyone. Dumping did not happen for me ever. I have had, I'm going on year 5 and I still have not dumped. And I have eaten sweets, I've eaten fat, I've eaten like regular stuff, and I still have not experienced dumping. It does not happen for everyone, okay? Now, some people it does happen for, but not for everyone. So you had sleeve literally just remove 75% of your stomach and sealed it up. Dumping hits me with the sugar. That's what I wanted, but it didn't happen for me. And then number 2, the other misconception is that I thought that if I had surgery, they would they was taking my stomach out, right? So I would be able to eat less, but guess what? That ain't happened to me either. So I can literally still eat normal size portions. And maybe that's the problem because maybe I was eating portions for like 5 people and I needed to eat portions for 1 person. So maybe now I can actually eat 1 portion. And maybe that's the magic of weight loss surgery, is that it just helps you to eat a smaller portion. Maybe that's what it is. But I can still eat. I can still go for it. Good morning, Claudette. So, Claudette, we're talking about different approaches to weight loss. And I say, look, the approach, there is keto, there is, all these different types of approaches. And my thing is, you choose the approach that works for you. Forget what everybody else says. Choose the approach that works for you, the one that you can do for the rest of your life, the one that lose the weight the way that you can lose it for the rest of your life, and you'll just be doing what you can do for the rest of your life, period, point blank. But I think that some people think that because you choose weight loss surgery that you get like an out, but that's not true. Like that's right, Claudette, that's right. So I literally, even with weight loss surgery, because it is just an approach, but after like the first 6 months of you getting it's like a jump start. After you get that jump start, like the first 6 months, it's all on you, baby. It's all on you. So what you gonna do with that jump start? Because if you don't learn the skills to maintain it long term, number one, that's another misconception. Another misconception is that I'll always be skinny. I'll always be skinny. If I have weight loss surgery, I will always be skinny. I'll never gain the weight back. And that's simply just not true. I can tell you, I gained weight back when I had my baby. And so you will gain the weight back if you start back eating the way that you're supposed to eat, because your stomach can stretch. You can learn how to eat around the tool. Like you can learn to eat. So there's this thing called grazing. And with grazing, it just means that you kind of learn to manipulate the surgery. What will happen is that instead of eating one big meal all at once, you just eat it in portion sizes, right? So I'll get the same meal. I'll eat a little bit now. I eat a little bit later. Eat a little bit later. And I've eaten the same calories, but you just take longer to eat it. And so in the same sense, you got to change your mentality. And people don't realize that the same work that goes into keeping the weight off and losing the weight without surgery, without any kind of medical intervention, is the same thing that you have to do with surgery. And I think that is a common misconception that people have, which is why they think that surgery is the easy way out, because you get that jump start. And I tell people that have had surgery that you got to admit that it is a little bit easier just in the beginning. And you got to own that part of it and not feel bad about when people throw shade, because people will throw shade, but you can't feel bad about it. You just don't care. You got to have in your mind the fact that this is what worked for me, and that's the choice that I made for myself. Just like if you were to choose keto, just like if you were to choose intermittent fasting, just like if you were to choose, whatever method you choose, that is the way that you chose to get your jump start. Surgery is just a jump start. It's just another method. It's another tool that you use to have your calorie deficit. And that's it. But it's the same thing with any other type of diet, that if you go off plan, so to speak, you will gain the weight back. And so that's why I say that don't choose this surgery if you think that it will fix everything. Yes, you have to do the mental work. Absolutely. Listen, I had this call with somebody yesterday, and we started talking about her, how last week we were talking about triggers, and we started talking about her triggers. And you know what? Her trigger was just being a mom and having mom guilt, because she traveled a lot with her. It is life-changing. It is very different. It is hard. So with this particular person, she had a lot of mom guilt around the fact that she wasn't at home with her kids. And so she would eat with the family and eat crazy stuff just so that she can not have to deal with that mommy guilt. But if you have surgery and if you don't have surgery, it's the same thing. You still have to deal with, what is the reason why I eat? If you're overeating, what is that reason? You still got to deal with it. She said that, child, I don't feel bad about it. I tried everything before I had surgery. One of the best decisions in my life. It is life-changing, and it is literally one of the best things. Listen, in retrospect, I really think that I had surgery because, when I had surgery, they saw that I had a tumor. And so I was dying of cancer and didn't know it. And so when I think that God chose me to have surgery, because I was really against it in the beginning, but I think that God chose me to have this God prompted me or allowed me to have this surgery so that they can see that I had a tumor growing in me, so that I can get the tumor out so I wouldn't die. But that was revealed through having the surgery. But anyway, so listen, my whole point in today is to talk about the shade that people throw with surgery. And I think that shade comes from the fact that they just don't understand that it really is just a tool that you use in your arsenal to create that calorie deficit for yourself. And so how do you guys deal with shade? I want to hear. So Sharon, how did you deal with shade? Weight loss surgery coach, how do you deal with shade? Claudette, how do you deal with shade when it comes to how you chose which route that you're choosing? Like, even if you go vegan, people will judge your veganism. People will throw shade. If you chose intermittent fasting, people will throw shade. So it really becomes an issue of, this is just the choice that I'm making for myself, and forget the shade. Let them deal with whatever they got to deal with themselves, in terms of, if that's how you derive your value for yourself, then that's your business. But their business has nothing to do with how you see yourself. And so those are my thoughts. And that's why I dropped the mic on that comment. And I'm standing by it. because that's what I believe. And I believe it because that was my experience, okay? I did throw shade to people that had weight loss surgery. I do throw shade sometimes when I see people that have plastic surgery, because I'm like, they had to have surgery to get it, you know? And so there's a shade because that's the value system that I have that I'm still working through, right? But, you know, you got to just learn how to let go of that. If that is you, if you have your value wrapped up in like your fitness achievement, then that's something that you got to process on your own. So you said that I had to get real confident in my choice. Absolutely. You had to get real confident in your choice and in your lifestyle. And it is a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle change. And if you're not careful, your lifestyle can go back to where it was before. If you do not make this a lifestyle, if you don't make it a lifestyle change, your habits will become what they were before surgery if you're not very careful. It can really sneak back up on you because you get comfortable and think that you can just rely on the surgery. And before you know it, you've regained all your weight plus some. So that's all I wanted to say. That was my drop mic moment for the week and my accountability check-in. I am going to go and I am going to work out for today. And I will let you guys know when I finish my workout for today, because that's my accountability. Sharon says that my response is always, it was the best decision for me. I know what it was like to carry 326 pounds most of my adult life, and I needed to do what was best for me and my family. Sharon, I did not know that you were 326 pounds. You were up there with me. I was 339 pounds at my heaviest, and I stopped. Listen, when I got to 339, I just stopped getting on the scale, because I didn't want to see all that. I did not want to see all that. So I just stopped getting on the scale at 339. And so, yeah, I believe that was my highest, but I really don't know because I stopped getting on the scale. So you said that I have to let people deal with their own heart and their own choices. I agree. So people that are choosing to have surgery, you will get 1,000,001 people telling you not to do it because it's not safe. That's another misconception, thinking that weight loss surgery is not safe. It actually is pretty safe. Like if you look at the studies and look at the statistics, it's actually one of the safest surgeries. Bypass is one of the safest surgeries that you can have. There's always a risk to surgery, but relatively speaking, weight loss surgery is absolutely safe because they don't do it open now. They do it with the little barrier. They do it with the tools, and so yeah, it's actually pretty safe nowadays. And then you go home. It's like outpatient procedure. You go home within a couple of hours to a day. So all right. So those are my drop mic moment. That's my accountability for the day. If you guys have some comments that you would like to share, I want to read it. How do you deal with shade when it comes to how you choose to have your calorie deficit? I want to hear those comments below, and I will see you guys next Sunday for my accountability check-in. Bye-bye.